The great thing about a knife like this is along the edges here you can get it down just below the surface, right? I'm just going along below the surface of the soil, about an inch underneath the weeds. Now all these weeds are mulched. Now I can push this all up against the peas like that. Hey, it's Greg here with MaritimeGardening.com. I'm doing a little bit of weeding here and I'm just using a knife, and I thought, I wonder how many people know that you can do simple weeding with just a knife. This is just an old, I think it's a steak knife that I got from a yard sale or something like that. I took it to a grinder, put a sharp edge on it. No big deal, you can do that with a file or anything. Any old knife will do really, as long as it's about this long. I'll show you what I'm doing here. Come on down, let's have a look. The great thing about a knife like this is along the edges here you can get it down. And I mean, all I'm really doing is cutting these off just below the surface, right? You can cut away from yourself or towards yourself. I tend to go like this. It seems more natural to me anyway. And you can get, I mean, you work a bit of a pattern with this sort of thing. And yes, it dulls the knife, but you're just using like some old garbage knife that's easy to sharpen anyway, right? But yeah, I'm just working. I got a line of peas here. For those that don't watch my channel, I like to plant peas on a trellis. This is a super sugar and snap variety. And then you plant potatoes on the sides, right? But it makes, I wouldn't, you wouldn't want to do, you wouldn't want to adapt this to any sort of industrial scale. But for the home gardener, okay, so this section is now dealt with, right? Oh, a couple here. Now all these weeds are mulched. Now I can push this all up against the peas like that, right? Now I got nice clean soil, where my potatoes are gonna go, completely weeded. I got a technique of planting potatoes where you mulch them heavily, and that keeps them from having to get weeded. You get all the sections done. Let me show you the next section. So as you can see, this is a very quick, easy process. You've got, so much control. I mean, there are hand tools, there are specialized gardening tools for weeds, but the knife, it's arguable, has a kind of precision they don't have. I mean, sure, you got to watch what you're doing with your other hand, right? So I just take those cut weeds and stack them up against the peas as a cheap mulch. And it's also a way of checking the soil I've just gone over, see if I've missed anything, right? Clean that up. I'm just going along below the surface of the soil, about an inch underneath the weeds, right? I find that, I mean, some of them will still come back, but most of them will not. And of course, I'm planting potatoes here, heavily mulched, so nothing's coming back under that mulch. In really close to the peas here, I have to use my hands to weed anything, because I don't want to indiscriminately, take any peas out. Good. Good soil. All right. This little section here. Right, again, I'm going underneath the weeds, cutting through the soil. You get very, with a little practice and a little time, you get very quick with the knife using this technique. Very quick. So, I mean, it's not for everything. It's probably not for everyone. You got to be able to get down and get up close and personal with the garden if you got a bad back or something like that. That's not good. That being said, a bad back isn't the end of the world. I actually irritated my sciatic nerve just over a week ago, and I could barely walk for about 4 days. And I just did what I could and took care of myself, and now I'm about 90%, but I can get down and do this. And yeah, I could not have done this a week ago. I just did something stupid, picked up something heavy the wrong way, and boom, Anyway, there, that bed's all ready for planting, right? Great gardening tool. So yeah, I just thought I'd do a short video showing that technique. I don't think a lot of people talk about it. There's so many videos out there on weeds, and they don't show you these really old-fashioned ways. And I'm sure my grandmother and my great-grandmother, they were the ones who tended the garden traditionally. I'm sure they were down on their hands and knees with a simple kitchen knife like this, because they didn't have all the fanciful tools we have in the garden today for this sort of like, I mean, there's the heavy tools you use at the end of the season or at the beginning of the season when you're just doing a whole area. But in the season, when you've got some things growing and you're trying to weed around them and all that sort of stuff, you know, a knife, surprisingly quick, good tool. And I mean, not hard to resharpen this. You know, I take a file to it, or it's not even that dull actually. I would just hone this, you know, it's ready to go for the next job. And again, this is a gardening knife. It's outdoors all the time. It lives in this garden. This is just where it is. So anyway, I hope you have found that interesting. If you could please like, share, subscribe. Until next time, get out there, get at it. Have fun in your garden. Thanks for watching.